right? So what is the what do you mean by configuration data? Okay, the consultant will do the configuration to set up the design of the client. Okay, so this configuration will do consultant. Okay, and this master data will perform by who will perform the master data will perform by either core team member, or there might be separate teams will be there. That is a master data team. Okay, MDM team, master data team. So they will perform the master data creation. Okay, and this transactional data will do by who will do transactional data? The transactional data will do by end user. So end user will create the transactions. So what is the difference between the configuration data, master data, and transactional data? Configuration data is nothing but like a in the backend we are designing the how the client looking that. Okay. So to perform the transactional data, to perform the master data, okay, whatever the backend setup is required from the functional side, okay, that will do by configuration data. That consultant will do by in the configuration data. And coming to master data, that is the I think we had a discussion about the master data. So master data is the one-time record which represent the either it is article or it may be vendor or customer. It is particularly thing. It will give the complete information of the particular material or particular vendor or customer. Okay, it is a one-time record which we are maintaining, and transactional data is nothing but like it is a live system. Okay, so every day whatever we are performing in the business, like we are getting orders, when we are dispatching the goods, when we receiving the orders, when we receiving the goods, okay, and creating the purchase orders, production orders, sales orders, production planned orders, all these it will be performed in the transactional data. Okay, so now let's go to the SAP how we can segregate this. Okay, so this is the login pad, SAP login pad. If anybody who are doing first time, okay, if they are not aware about this SAP, okay, this is the SAP login pad. Looks like this one. Okay, and there is a one more icon also. Okay, so that was the latest one. Okay, so both it will be like looks like a SAP login pad. This one. Okay. So if you want to see, this is the yellow color. Okay. So if you can see here in the top, there was a sound 40. So that means login pad sound 40 is the version. Okay. So there was sound 50, sound 60, like we have a different version, upgraded version. So this is the 740 version. Okay. And if you see like this one, okay, in the real time also you will be have the server. Okay. Go to properties here. If you can see that here, okay, application server, instant ID, and the system ID. Okay, so these will created by basis team. Okay, when the system they are creating like landscape, like development system, quality system, production system. So they will create the application server, this IP address, and instance number and system ID. Some cases they will be entering the SAP string also. Okay, so these are the information. These are the information will give to connect the particular server. Okay, so now if it is 202, if it is suppose let's say assume that this is the development system. For quality system maybe it is a 204 or 206 something different application server. Again production system that will be again different. Okay, and the instance ID also is different and system ID also is different. Okay, so generally how it will be like real time. There will be application server. So it will give the IP address. Looks like IP address, but it's application server details. Okay. Then instance number and system ID. And some clients they will maintain the SAP router string. Particularly, it is mostly on the ODC part, and if they want particularly more secured and those cases, they will be using the string. okay, SAP string. Now this number will be changed for the development, quality and production. Okay, so it is different. Again, instance number also it will be changed. Now if you see that here it is 00, right? Might be in the quality system it will be 01 or it may be 02 in the production system, like. And again, if it is system ID, if you see that here, okay, if I enter development, okay, so this looks like a development system. Now QAS, like it looks like a quality system, and PRG, it looks like a production system. So like different they will maintain. If you see here, if I maintain 3 here, 1, 2, 3, I have maintained, right? So in real time, how it will be like? This is the development system, this is quality system, this is the production system, like that. But these are the dummy servers here, I just mentioned here. But in the real time, like there is no difference here. It's just like a server details are different. Okay, we can consider the first one is development system. So like I can say system ID is DEV, and second one is quality system. Okay, and production system will be this one. Okay, so like we'll be maintaining different IDs, and this will created by a base system. When you join in the company, so they will provide that. Okay, this is the application server. Just add into that. If you want to add in the new one, okay, click on this one by clicking on here, next, and here you need to enter the application server, instance number, system ID, and if they have the string, you have to enter the string. Okay. So like you have to add development system, quality system, production system. If there is a BI system, BW systems. Okay. If there is a other servers also, you can add that. Okay. Clear? Now, okay, how many people you install this one, SAP Login Pad, newer system?
Yeah, I done it.
Okay. What about others?
No, I did not.
Okay, if you are still not installed, okay, please ask Gautam. They will provide the link, okay, to download, how to download that, how to run that. They will perform that, okay. So after that, they will give you these details, property details. You need to add these property details in the here, okay. Clear? Now one more thing which is I need to explain here. If you see that this is the S4 HANA server, okay. This is S4 HANA server, and this is the ISIS server, okay. For testing purpose, I just connected that, okay. But in the real time, if you have the S4 HANA server, again in S4 HANA also you have development system, quality system, production system. Either you have the ECC or S4 HANA, okay. Only one, not two, okay. Mostly it will be only one. Clear? And there is no difference, guys. S4 HANA and ECC, there is no difference, okay. Mostly everything it will be same, 90%. 10% there is a variance is there, okay. That we will discuss when there is a point which is required to discuss in the ECC and S4 HANA, okay. I will explain those points when there is a change. It is there when I just explaining the topic, okay. If it is any difference in S4 HANA, I will explain about that, okay. But process wise, it is everything is same. Okay, there is no difference. So don't spend more money on the S4 HANA. Okay, just try to understand that how it will be work S4 HANA. Okay, so I will be take separate section for the S4 HANA. Don't worry about that. Clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
Okay. Okay, then now I'm just logging into this one. Okay. Now this is the client ID. Okay. So every server. Okay. Every development in the real time, I'm just it is 800, that is for a IDS server. In the standard, if it is 800, then generally we call it as a IDS server. IDS server is nothing but like it is a testing purpose, education purpose. It is SAP provided, okay, education system, this one, okay. But if you go to real time, okay, in the real time for the development system, again there will be a separate client number. Okay, and again quality there will be a separate again, different, and production again there will be a separate. Like if suppose I had in the development system, again I have three clients. Okay, one client is 100 and another client is 110 and the one is 120. Let's assume that. Okay, again if we go to quality, again two clients are there. Okay, let's assume that. Okay, that will be a 500 or 510 or 210 200 so outer maybe. Okay, again it will be go to here again one client or two clients, it might be different. Okay, if suppose it's one client, then it will be like you can say 300 or something. Okay, so why there is a multiple clients. Okay, so when it is real time, generally how it will be like 100 client when you logging into 100. Okay, that will be the configuration, especially for the configuration it will give the there will be uh, functional team can perform this one. Okay, functional team only can perform the 100 client, so we also call this is golden client. Okay, real time if they in interview point of view if they are asking about that what is your landscape, you can say three landscape. One is a development system, quality system, production system. Again in the development system we have the three servers, three clients which is like golden client and unit testing, and we can say development separately. Okay, so 100 generally we call as a golden client. Okay, and we also have the 110 which is for the development purpose. Okay, that means it is a above branch, above related, above coding related. Okay, it is only for the ABAPers, not for the functional. So generally we call as a technical team, technical consultant. Okay, and that means in the program level if they want to be change anything, this 110 they will use, they will not use 100, they will use the 110. Okay, and now 120 is the generally called as a unit testing, unit testing client. Okay, so this will be for the functional team, they will do the testing. Okay, testing at one round. Okay, that is unit testing. So this is the development. Once the golden client the configuration is completed or code changes are completed, okay, you have to test in the 120 system. Okay, whether all the what are the configuration we did on coding that is working or not, that you need to be tested here. Okay, if you everything it is success, suppose the testing is success, then okay you can move the changes to quality system, changes will be moved to quality system. Now again in the 500 what will be happen. Okay, if the we have the pre-quality, and if there is a 510 is the quality system. So generally we have only one. Generally, mostly 90% people they will use only one client. Okay, but sometimes they will use two clients also. There is no issue. Okay, if they are using two clients or one client, there is no problem. Okay, so you can say mostly you can have the one client only. Okay, but in the development system we have multiple clients. But quality system and production system we have only one client. Okay, so what is the difference between pre-quality and quality? Okay. Once the changes are completed, we will move to 500 client and again we will test it. Okay, the functional team will test it. So here you need to understand here, this will be performed by consultant. This is functional consultant. Okay, and again here, this will also performed by consultant. This is technical, and this is the will performed by again functional consultant. Okay, now when I just coming to the 500 client, when I just coming to 500, okay, generally this will be done by functional consultant. If you have the pre-quality, suppose if you have the pre-quality, then functional consultant will test and send the test cases to client. Okay, then if he is okay, then what we'll do, we'll move to 510. Then 510 will perform by end user or core team members. Okay, from client. If we can say like client. suppose if you have only one client, 500, suppose let's say assume that I have only 500, that is quality, then okay, initially you will be testing and then you are giving to end users, they will test it. Or if you have the confident boss, this 500 client completely end user will do, then might be we'll stop it in the 120, the unit testing, then we'll inform that okay, this unit testing is completed, we are moving to quality system, please test from your end. Okay, so there is so many cases are there, depends on the client how they are following rules, you have to follow that. Okay, then now the test case everything is done, the client also they tested, end user also they tested, core team members also they tested, everyone they tested. So if that is successful, we called as a UAT pass, unit acceptance test. Okay, that means they are accepted. Okay, all the whatever test cases, whatever the changes happening in the functional level, whatever the changes happen in the coding level, okay, all it is successfully completed and it is working as per my requirement, client requirement, it is working. Once it is unit passed, UAT passed, that means user acceptance test. This is UAT is nothing but user acceptance test. If he accepted that, then we'll move the changes to production system. Changes are moved to production system. In the production system, what will be happen? It is a live system. So the functional consultant don't have any access to do any action in the production system. Okay, make sure that if you are doing anything in the production system, you should have the approval from the client, which is higher level approval. Then only you have to perform in the production system. Other than that, you should not do anything in the production system. This is completely restricted for the consultant. Okay, only few cases we have the access, like some cases what will be happen. Okay, some cases what will be happen, some changes we have to do in the every system. So those cases you have to do in the production system, like number ranges. Okay, some cases, some of the configuration, it's not configuration, we can say some of the data which we have to manually maintain in the production system. Okay, those like number ranges, only those cases only you have to be logged in the production system. Other than that, production system will be using only when you are doing supporting, when you are supporting to the client and client say that okay, I got some problem in the PO, can you look into that? So only display. You should not create anything in the production system. You should not change anything in the production system. Okay, only display. Display access you have. In case client forcefully asking that, boss, you should do, why? Because we are getting problem, we are not able to do, you should do. Okay, if you have all the approvals, okay, you have a FFID. Okay, FFID is nothing but like they will give special case user ID to you. You can log into that. Okay, in the login FFID, they will be recorded each and every moment what you are doing in the production system. Okay, so this will be happen only some cases FFID they will give, and if suppose I got some problem in the PO creation, okay, they said that I could not able to create PO. So we still say that this is the problem, you just verify. Okay, but still they are not saying that no, I'm still getting the problem. Okay, if it is an emergency cases, emergency change, then might be you can perform when you have the you should be have the approval from the client, and you should be have the FFID. Then only you can do production activity. Okay, if you want to, if consultant wants to perform any activity in production system, you should have FFID access. Yeah.
FFID means firefighter ID, right?
Yeah, file factor ID. Okay. So this will be again you should be have the approval using this FFID. Okay. And again one more thing, FFID it is not 24/7. Okay. They will give only restricted to 4 hours or 8 hours, some cases 1 day. Okay, but again that will be expired after 1 day or 2 days. Again, if you want to do some changes in the production system, again you need to request. They will give the FFID request. Clear? Clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
So it depends on the roles. They will assign the roles. Some people they will be giving the roles, especially one role. Even if you are using FFID, they will not give complete authorization. They will give restricting to the some transaction. Suppose I need to do some in the PO creation, so they will give only ME21 access. So they will not give the ME51. They will not give the MIGO. Okay. So whatever you are requesting, only those access only they will provide. It depends on the client what they're processing, what they process they are allowing. Clear?
Yeah, it's
So this is whatever we have discussed here. The points, everything it is the real time. Okay, guys. And do you did you get any doubts on this anywhere?
I have a doubt. If you have a 110 client, it is an above coding only, right, for development?
Sorry, 1 minute. Yeah. Can you repeat?
Yeah, we have a client 110 in
Okay.
development. Huh?
Okay.
So it's an above coding only for a technical consultant only,
Yeah,
right?
we don't have access for again. 110
Yeah.
will not. We don't have access. Okay. It
Okay.
depends. It is not like that. You should be have 100, 120, 110. Might be you have the 110, 130, 170, 180. It depends on the basis consultant what they're proposing. Okay. I'm just giving the example only. Okay.
Okay. For example, 120 is a unit testing. Do you have any option? I mean, do you have access for that?
Yeah, we should have, right? Functional consultant. We are functional consultant, right? We should have.
Oh,
Okay.
for
100 we have. 120 we have.
okay. For development only technical team will have that access.
Develop this again. This is the in the development system only. This is only for developers. You can say like developers. Okay. Instead of
Okay.
developers. Above coding is the developers access. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And some cases maybe you can see there is a sandbox.
Yeah, we hear that one.
So some cases it's not everywhere. Okay. Some peoples they have the sandbox. Okay. Again, let's assume that that will be the again 140. Suppose. Okay. The sandbox what will be happen? It is a completely scrap. Okay, if you want to do anything testing or if you want to do okay before doing configuration 100, if you have the doubts boss just want to try in the sandbox. Okay, those cases you can do sandbox. Sandbox will not be impacting the anywhere. Okay, it is an individual client. It won't be impacting the any other systems or other clients. Okay, so sandbox you can do whatever you want, you can do it. Okay, in the sandbox. But mostly some of the clients they have the sandbox, but some clients they are not maintaining. They say that why we need to maintain sandbox? We have unit testing. You can do unit testing. Why you want to be going to the beyond testing? Do whatever we suggested configuration like depends on the client. It's okay. Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
This sandbox we can do whatever you want. So this will not be moved to any other transport, any any systems. Okay, these changes will not move to any system. Okay, just like whatever we are doing idea server, right? Like we are sandbox is nothing but like just like a scrap box. Okay, you can do whatever you want. Okay,
Yeah.
now
Okay.
now do you have any doubts in this process or did you get any questions, queries? Okay, I will ask one question here if anybody. Okay, okay, sir. I did in the 100 client. So these 100 clients, how the changes will move to 120? And again, from the development system to quality system, how the changes will move. How the system knows that these changes should be moved, these changes should not be moved.
By using the TRs.
Yeah. So we have the transport request number. Okay. Transport request number is the one ID number which will create whenever you are doing some configuration or development changes. Okay. Those cases the transport request number will be created. So this transport request number have the whatever you are doing a configuration, the data will be loaded into that ID number. Okay. So whenever you just want to move the changes to the other client, using this ID number, you just transporting from one client to other clients. Okay. And here you want to be, you should aware about one point here. Okay. Client to client transfer within the same system. On transfer, again, system to system transfer or server to server transfer. Okay. So this is one case. So the first case is, suppose I'm just doing 100 to 120. Okay, for testing purpose, 100 to 120. And here, if you are looking here, 100 to, okay, I just want to do the 500. So this is within the same system. That means within the development system, 100 client to 120 client. If you want to move, okay, we are using the transaction code is SCC1. Okay, this is the transaction code. This is the one program. We are transporting the TR from the one client to another client within the same system. And if you want to do here, the 100 client to 500 client, okay, we are using STMS underscore import. Okay. Okay, this will be performed by, okay, this will be performed by basis team. Team will transport here from one system to one server to another server. Okay. So we should not do this one, and we don't have authorization also. Okay, and when it is this one within the same, okay, this functional consultant can perform this, and they can move from the 100 to 120. Okay, and here one more point which you need to understand here. Okay, these changes 100 to 120. Okay, and this changes from 100 to 500. Okay, once if you move from 100 to 500, okay, you cannot use the same transport request number for the any other changes. Every time you have to create the one ID number. If it is moved to development to quality system, okay, that means you cannot do same ID. That means I'll give you one example here. We have the TR number, right? Okay, so this TR number you have to release the TR. That means I'm approving that these changes can be moved to other system. If you release the TR, okay, that means the system will not be accept to do any changes in the same TR. Okay, and if you want to move from the development to quality system, that means 100 to 500, you should release the TR. Okay, if suppose if you want to do from 100 to 120, no need to release. Okay, you no need to release here. Okay, without releasing also the transport you can move from 100 to 120. Okay, that means still I can use that same transport request number for other changes also. If you want to do any other configurations, any other changes, that same transport request number you can use. In case if it is if you already released that here, then you need to be create a new transport request number. Clear? Are you clear about this one?
Within the same system, we have to transfer the TRs from one client to another client. We don't need any TRs, right?
We don't need to release.
We no need to release the TRs.
Yeah,
If
release
it
the
is,
TR.
okay.
Okay, that
If it is
means
a different, if it's a different system, then we need to release the TR.
yeah, we need to release. What do you mean by release? It is nothing but like a, okay, the transport request number is fine. I did all the changes. Okay, I'm just releasing that. You can move the changes to other system. That means I'm accepting to release the, I'm accepting to move the changes to other system. Okay, here the case is, okay, I'm just trying to that 120 system in a unit testing. I'm just trying that, okay, whether this configuration is working or not. If the configuration is not working, then again I will go 100 and I will do changes and again I will move to 120, the same transport request number. Okay, clear?
Yeah, okay. If we want to change the TR number, then it will system will allow, or
TR number means ID number system will generate. ID
okay.
number we cannot change. You can change the description of the transport request number.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, and if you want to see the how the transport request number will be there, okay, I will show you here. This is the transport request number. Okay. Okay. So this transport request number, what will be happen? This transport request number, what will be happen? Okay, I have created. I did one task, some configuration change. So I created one transport request number. Again, if I did something different to changes, then I can create one more transport request number. So multiple people, they are creating multiple transport request numbers. Okay, that transport number is transportable or local. So local is nothing but like a, okay, if you create a transport request number under that local, okay, you cannot move the changes to other systems. It will be in the only single server. Okay, if you are putting like transportable, okay, then only you can either you can do release or you can do modifiable. Okay, this is one point which you should not create any transport request number under the local. Okay, so while creating the transport request number, you'll be have the option like local and transportable. So you should create always in the transportable. Okay, and only whatever the transport which is created under transportable, that can be modifiable or released. Okay, and there is a two types of the transports. One is workbench, one is functional. Functional transport is nothing but like a configuration. Whatever we did configuration, that will be saved in the functional transport, and whatever the code changes or table entries, table modifications, those it will be in the workbench transport. Okay, this workbench mostly created by above team. Okay, and functional transport will create by functional team. Okay, sometimes might be some cases we also creating workbench. Okay, some of the cases that will be related to table entries. Okay, I will show you those in the when we are doing configuration. Okay, now and now one more point you have to understand: master data and transaction data. We don't need any transport number. That we will not be create any transport number here. Okay.
Means if we change any master data changes or transaction data changes, we don't need to do any transport numbers. I mean, TRs, right?
Sorry, come again.
If we do any master data changes in our system, does it
Uh-huh.
need a master? I mean,
Master data will not create any transport. Okay, only configuration and coding changes. It will be create the transport request number. Okay, master data and transaction data is the regular process that we will do in the only production system, right? It's a production system data.
Yeah.
Right? For that, we don't need to create any transport. Okay.
Oh. In quality also we using this TRs, right?
Sorry, come again.
In quality also we are doing this TRs, right?
No, transports number will create only in the configuration and development system. Okay.
In quality we don't do this TRs.
We will not create any transport request number in the quality. Transport quality system we are using transport number to update the whatever the changes which is updated in the development system in the same transport request number that we are moving from development to quality, quality to production. So we should not do any configuration changes in the quality system. We should not do any coding changes in the quality system. All it should be happen in the development system only. Clear?
Yeah, clear. My doubt is I was developed I was changed a configuration in the development system. I moved it to the quality and
Okay.
I tested it in the quality. So in
Okay.
quality I should generate a TR or what should I do to the move into the real time means
No, not
I,
required, right? You have already transport request number, right? From development to quality, whenever you changes mode, there is a transport request number, right?
yeah.
The same transport request number you are using to move to production system.
Okay. The same transfer request is we are using
Yeah,
to.
we will not create any new transport request number. Same
Okay.
transport request number only have the data that we are moving to quality and pass, then only we are moving to production. Okay. There is no need to create any new transport request number, and even it will not create any transport number. Okay.
Oh, okay. And then the modifiable means the release
Modifiable
we are
means
giving.
I said, right? If you want to change the description, okay, transport request number description if you want to change. Suppose tomorrow the client is asking that you have to be follow the format for this description, like you have to update the ticket number, you have to update the date when you did configuration, and you have to update that what configuration you did. Okay, so those cases you need to be modified, right? Transport description of the transport that
Yeah.
you can update.
So once
Okay?
we modify, then we can release it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Once you release, you cannot modify. That's the concept. Okay. So
Okay.
before only you have to do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Any doubts, guys, on this one? So you can create multiple transport numbers, or you can create a single transport number. So makes better always create one transport number to avoid the confusion or sequence when you are moving to production. If suppose I have created transport numbers, okay, each transport number which is depend to another transport number. So if I have created document type, suppose let's assume that I have created a document type, okay, in the one transport number, and again for the document type I have assigned the number ranges in the number range interval in the different document in the different transport number. If suppose I missed the first transport number and I just moved a second transport number, then there is no use. Why? Because the first transport number have the document type. For that document type only you created number range interval. So there is no use if you move to second one. First you have to move first one, then after that you have to move to second one. Then only the system will update the number interval to that particular document type. Without document type in the production system, if you move to number range interval also, there is no use, right? So those cases, what will be happened? So better you can configure in the one single transport request number for the each and every task. Okay, if some client is asking that create some metal group, okay, create only one transport number. Okay, let's check, keep and create a middle group, create a purchase group, and update the description for telephone number, all these things. Then, okay, once it is verified in the unit testing, then you just release the transport number, then move to quality system. So one or two, it's okay, but if you have keep on creating multiple transport request number, then the client also be like they will be highlighted that why you are creating multiple transport request numbers for the single task. So better always you create only single transport request number for the multiple changes. Okay, clear?
Does it have any number of limits for the tasks should be involved in the TR?
No, there is no restrictions. You can do
No.
multiple.
Okay.
Entire implementation project you can do in the single transport. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Entire MM module, entire SD module you can create in the single transport request number. So there is no restriction on the how many objects which should be like. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is very important, guys. Transport request number. This is real time. Okay. And this types of project. Okay. So hope you're clear about this one. Okay. So I will show you how to release the transport request number, how it will be like, okay, I will just create one configuration how the system will ask the transport request number. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to SPRO. Okay, so here one thing you need to understand that whatever in the top SAP EG access, that's completely related to end user, core team member end user, like PO creation, metal master creations, purchase requisitions, GR goods receipt. All this will do in the from the SAP menu. If you want to do the configuration, okay, you can do only in the SPRO configuration setup. Okay, you need to go SPRO, then it will go to inside. Okay, so click on this one. This is completely configuration. Okay, the inside whatever it is there, it is all configuration. We should only functional consultant have the access for this one. Okay, clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, now so the transaction code is you need to enter the transaction code here. Okay, whatever the transaction you want to perform, either you create a purchase order, created a like, okay, all these transaction codes we are entering here. Okay, this SPRO is the standard one which will be go to inside the customization configuration related. Just enter and click on this SAP reference MG and go to inside. Okay, suppose what I'm doing that I'm just creating that one company code. Suppose let's say assume that I need to create a Tata Steel. Okay, what I'm just doing that I'm just going to this one. I'm just creating the company code. Okay. So I'm just showing that how configuration will create. Okay, so you can take any of the reference and you can create a okay that TAT. Okay, and I'm creating this one. This configuration I'll tell you. Okay. Okay. See, now this is a request number, transport request number. So whenever you're creating a new transport request number, okay, click on here create button. Okay, click on create button. Now you have to enter that your short description of the changes. Suppose let's say my client is I'm doing MM. Okay, MM configuration again. The date, suppose let's say 08/08/2020. Okay, like again what changes it is like company code creation or some plan changes or organization structure. Okay, if you have the ticket number, you can enter the ticket number like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, in the real time you have the ticket number, right? They requested these changes required and they will create one ticket number. Okay, we'll discuss about that ticketing tool and all. Okay, so this is the ID number which SAP which client is asking that these changes required for tracking purpose. Okay, then click on the save. Okay, now this is the transport request number which is created. Okay, this is the reference ID. Now in this transport request number, whatever the changes we are doing, all it will be saved. So whatever I created, okay, all it will be saved in the same transport request number. So where I can see the transport request number, which transaction code, again I just go to back and SC09. Okay, where I can see go to that. I said right, whatever we have customized and workbench. Okay, so there are and modifiable. If it is released, then you can click on the release. If it is still not released, then always the status is the modifiable. Okay, and click on display. Now I created this one, right? The transport request number. Okay, this transport request number have the subtask number. In the subtask number have the what are the activities you have performed. So this is the I just created, right? Company code. This is the company code I created. So that details will be there in the here. Okay, and these are the tables. Okay, when you are creating the company code. Okay, the database record have the details. Okay, what table you created. Okay, what record you created. All these entries will be updated. Okay, now this is address details, everything it will be updated. Okay, so that going forward we'll discuss about these points. Okay, at one time if you want to understand, it's very difficult. Okay, but I just showing that the transport request number how it will be created. still it is status on the modifiable. If you want to release, suppose let's say I just want to move this changes to quality system, then what I will do, I will release the subtask first. Click on the lorry button. If you see it in the release directly, I just click on this one. So subtask release, then we'll release the main task. Okay. So then what will be happen? I can move now. This see now the status is moved from modifiable to it is in the release status. So now if I can see, if I go to modifiable, I cannot see my transport request number. Where is my transport request number? It is not there. Okay. If I go to release button, okay, then only I can see my released, whatever the transport which is released. Now this transport request number I can use to move the changes from development to quality system. So we'll ask basis team to move the changes to production quality system and development system. Okay. So this is the way we will create a transport request number. Every changes, it will be create the one transport request number. Okay. You can create multiple changes into one transport request number, or you can create multiple transport numbers also you can create. Okay. And some companies, how they will do, this transport request number will be created in the service now. Okay, that means not in the service. Okay, they have the Solomon, not service now, Solomon. Okay, there they will be created the transport request number. That transport request number directly we are using. Okay, either you can create here, or they will create at the ticketing tool. There was a Solomon. There you have to be charm. There was some ticketing tools are there. So there you can create your own transport request number. That transport request number you can use here. Okay. So there is two ways. It depends on your client, whatever they are using. Clear? So this is the way we will create a transport request number. Okay. Just try to understand this one. Okay. Again, by end of the all the sections. Okay. By end of the maybe in the when the course is completed, I will repeat these everything again for interview purpose. How we will use. Okay. So any doubts as of now? If anybody have the doubts, please.
Is it an automation tool to create an ticketing tool related? Means you said that we can create TRs at the ticketing tool level only.
Not ticketing tool. It is like charm. Okay, that's why the software. Okay, it is also one type of the ticketing tool only. Generally we call. Okay, charm or Solomon. Okay, there also we can create a transport request number. Okay, instead of we are creating the time of configuration. Okay, initially they will create one transport request number for tracking purpose. That transport request number they will give to you with approvals. Okay, you can use this transport request number. Then in the configuration level, you can use the transport request number for creating of the any changes.
Okay.
Okay. Instead of you creating here, manually they will create and they will give to you. Okay. Either you can create or they will create.
Okay.
That is a charm. Okay.
We can edit the transport number, right?
You can edit. Number we cannot edit it. Description we cannot edit. We can edit.
Okay.
Number once it is generated, it is system generated ID. You cannot change, right?
Okay.
So any doubts here? Any doubts? What about others? What about others?
No, sir.
Everyone is fine. Where is Syed? Syed left. Okay. So just try to understand. Okay. Just try to understand. Initially it is difficult to understand, but okay. Once you started to working on that, you'll be understand. Okay. This is the real time. Okay. How it will be working in this one.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing, which is like we have one more server. Okay. Generally SAP level. Reader 000. Okay. Client copy. In case if basis team they want to create any new client, they will use the 000 as a copy, client copy. This is standard SAP provide. I'm just giving the reference only. Okay, it is not required, but I just giving that. By using this 000, they will create whatever 100, 120, 140, 150 like they will create. Okay. This client copy. So SAP standard copy. This one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And this is one. And coming to here, this will types of the implementation we'll discuss at the end of the day. Okay. And if you see that the login pad here, this is a sequence number symbol. Okay. By clicking on the symbol, it will be open like this one. And if you want to add the properties, you can add properties of application server, instance number, server system ID. And once you click on this one, you can enter the user ID and password. And also, if you are from the different language, suppose you are from the China, okay, different country, okay, or if you are from the Malaysia, US, okay, then you can also select your language here, okay. Then if it is China language, language keys you can use. Whatever the language key it is there, you can use. Okay. Then instead of it is showing in English, it will display in the term like China, okay, Malaysia, like different Europe, like you can see that information in their language. Okay. One more thing which is like, okay, here you need to understand one thing. If you already log in, if again you are trying to log in one more time, okay, system will give that message like, see here, if you see that, continue with this login and other one. That means here you have the only single entry. That means only one time only you can log in. One system only you can log in. You cannot log in multiple times. Okay. That means if it is already application is running, you cannot log in that again. Okay. But there was some more option it is there. Some cases what will be happen, multiple user IDs also it will be allowed. That means if I log in, again if you want to log in, then that also option it will be there. So those cases it will be displayed third option. Okay. Let's also multiple ID.
I know that it is showing any multiple logins.
If I can see diagram, multiple login, it's not multiple login, multiple single user. Okay, if you see here, okay, are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, we are able to see.
Okay, if you see that, there is three options are there. Okay, okay. Generally, production system they will restrict like only single entry. That means either you have to terminate, okay, this login, or might be you can terminate the other who are login that. That means you want to terminate this login, or you have to continue. Okay, or either you can terminate from your login. Okay, if I just terminate it, then it will gone. If I didn't terminate that and I selected the first option, what will be happen? Okay, the other login whatever it is there, that it will be terminated. Now I'm just selecting first one. What will be happen? This will be continued, and the other system which is disconnected. One more which is login, that is disconnected. Okay, I cannot see one more. It is already disconnected. But some cases there is a possibility or continue. There is second option. It is there. Okay, if you selected the second option, what will be happen? Continue with your login, and also sequentially the other logins whatever it is there, they also can be able to log in. Okay, that means same user ID can be used multiple times. Okay, multiple systems, multiple servers they can use, multiple systems you can use. Okay, but this depends again on the client. They want to be permit only single entry or they want to be permit multiple entries. Okay, so production mostly it will be only single entry. You have your own ID and I have my own ID. Okay, but in the development system, quality system, generally enter your company or enter your team, they will give one ID. So those cases, maybe you can also log in and somebody also log in at a time. So that time you can select the second option. Clear?
Like till
So
how many people can log in the same ID, sir?
yeah, that's fine. If they are giving that access, you can able to.
Like how many people also, no problem.
No problem.
Okay.
But generally they will give for the development and quality system, but production they will not allow. Okay. The reason why, because I am telling you, okay, SAP they will do every year auditing. Okay. So if they are doing any fraud, like suppose if I want to buy one user ID from the SAP, that will be chargeable. Okay. You want to be create multiple 4, 5 user IDs, or 10 user IDs, 20 user IDs, 30 user IDs. Okay. Each and every user ID it is chargeable. Okay. Like 500, 200, 300 something they will be chargeable. Okay. If I have a team like 10 members, 10 user IDs I have to create. Right. So if I create only one ID, I'm just saying to all the people, please use the same user ID. Then they lost it 10 user IDs profit, right? SAP. Right. So they are restricted that okay only one user ID can use only one person in the production system, go live system. Okay. But generally in the development system and quality system we can use multiple, but production system only one. So even now it's I bought from the outside, right? So so they want to be terminated that you should not share your user ID password to anyone. Okay, that's why they given only single entry. Why? Because if I have the multiple entries, I can give to you and I can give to someone. Okay, boss, you can use my ID. Whenever you are using, I can use ID. Okay, so multiple user IDs, when multiple logins it is allowed, then it is obviously lost to the server, right? Who are the providing servers, right? So the same case here also, and SAP. Okay, you should take the multiple login IDs. You should not take the multiple attempts at one single user ID. So only single user ID, single attempt only for productions. Okay.
So I have a doubt.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, we have a multiple user access. So I'm
Uh-huh.
using one. I'm using the system. I'm doing some configuration.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my team he don't know I'm doing that configuration.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, he logged in it and he just continue with mine and
That's
terminate
why, right?
the old one.
That's why, right? At initial only we restricting that. Okay, suppose Syed have the ID, so only Syed should use. Some other team members should not use. They have their own ID, right? If
Yeah,
Cyclone have the Cyclone ID, and you have your own ID, and Syed have the Syed ID,
okay.
and
At least, yeah. My doubt is at least cases we have that option. So if he terminates, I was doing some configuration. So I want to log in again and I want to redo that. Does it have any option here?
no. So that means you are sharing your credentials to someone. That is again illegal.
Not an illegal. For example, choose. I have worked in one company. I mean, as a team.
Okay.
So we have 4 members in team. The
Okay.
company will provide only one single credentials to all the team.
Okay. So in
So
that case, they will give the multiple access, right? Multiple IDs.
yeah, they giving the multiple access, but unfortunately, my team member I don't know. He's a new guy or anything else. So he used that one. So unfortunately, it terminates my login. So
Okay.
I want to redo my undo my changes, means restore the whatever
No,
I did.
no. If it is already saved, then it will be there. If it is not saved, then it will be gone. Again, you have to do.
Again, we have to do the from the
That
starting
we
of
have,
the.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's
That will not be saved. Okay. Once it is transport request number, it's generated, or if it is saved, then it automatically the changes are saved. Okay. But
okay.
if you are doing in the middle, suppose you are creating company code, it is rotating now, creating. Suddenly it is terminated. Then again you have to do.
Okay. System will not create any logins or right then.
No. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So any question? Any other questions, guys? So in interview point of view, if they are asking landscape, Okay, you have to tell development system, quality system, production system. Again, in the development system configuration, above development, unit testing, integration testing, cross module testing, like production system. Okay, so like we can say different systems we have. Okay, clear?
Okay, sir. And one more thing, can you provide the document for this theory part?
Yeah, I'll give you. I'll
Yeah,
share you this PPT. Okay, already there are so much information. It is there. Everything, presentations, our database, our everything. It is there. Okay. Okay, and moreover, I will give you the details. Okay, what are the details which is. But that's why. So I am saying, right. So whenever you just learning that, you also need to be prepared your own notes.
yeah. While we are creating my own notes, so I want to refer some books. Then it will
That's
be
why, right.
useful to write.
See,
Yeah.
one thing what you need to understand here. Okay, uh, it is not like a education. It is like a we are learning in the class 10%. Your whatever you learning outside, that is 90%. Okay, that means, okay, if suppose I'm talking about the transport request, okay, I just giving the overview details and everything. Might be if you go to in the Google transport request number, if you click on that, you'll get a number of pages. What is the transport request number? Who created? How it is there? What we can modify? So what you can do might be at least you just refer that document and just try to understand. Then okay, out of 40%, 50%, you will be remembering that at least 10%, 15% what it is required. If I suppose only whatever I just explaining 10%, if you are reading only 10%, tomorrow in the interview point of view they will asking the question. Okay, might be you remember only 5% or 6%. The remaining you lost. Okay, so what I'm saying that sequentially you also need to be working on that. You also need to be uh, refer the documentations, refer the Google. Okay, what exactly it is, what additionally topics we can learn. So those also you need to be learn. Okay.
So we can Google it and we can learn it. So I'm asking do we have any standard documents? I'm asking.
Standard document means what you are talking about. Standard document means.
Do we have any documents to share with you?
No, I will share you. I will share you documents. That's why I'm saying that. Okay, I will share you document. Okay, so beyond that the document, you also need to be prepared. That is I'm saying,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's
If
why
you
you need to do more practice. You need to be
yeah
prepared your own book. Okay? Then only will be remember these all things. If I just given the document, okay, I will give you a document. I just prepared a document and I will give to you the documentation. Okay, okay. So what you will be thinking, okay, I have the document. So let's keep it in our folder. Okay. Tomorrow if I just preparing for the interview, okay, just referring to all the documents. Okay, boss, it's over. But just referring only when you are going to the interview, right? You are not referring every day.
okay, sir. I got it.
Yeah, right. So when you are starting to be searching and learning the point, that will be remind that will be you will not be forget those points. If I just given that book, it's just like a book, and you are reading that book and you are just explaining that book. If they are asking crossing that book again, that will be again question mark, right?
Yeah.
So some points you also need to be learn. Some points I will explain. Some points you also need to be learning. Okay, clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Uh, I will give you, don't worry about it. I will give you a document everything. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Okay. So any questions other than that?
Right now, no, sir. Like little confusing. I'll just revise the recording, then I'll let you know tomorrow if I have
Sure.
any doubts.
So yeah, yeah. I am saying right. It is not. We cannot learning all in the
Yeah,
single shot. Okay. So
yeah,
keep on trying to understand, and once you have started practicing, and once you log in there, okay.
yeah, yeah.
So you will be getting idea about what we are doing and whatever we performing that. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay, great then, guys. Okay, so any questions? Let me know, or else we can close the call today.
yes, yes. No doubts right now.
Right
Okay.
now,
Sir, I
no, sir.
can ping you anytime, right? If I have any doubts.